Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Demon's Souls, where this time I'm slightly more prepared than I was last time to fight this blue dragon. I'm now using a different bow. I'm using the white bow. I had to upgrade my dexterity a little bit to get to there, but that is fine, because the white bow gives you more range, which means that your hits are going to be doing more damage. Also, I've replaced all of my arrows with heavy arrows. And I've also brought as many as I can carry while also removing extra weight. So, all of that only increases the damage I'm dealing by 8 points of damage a hit. Which is fine, because I brought 500 arrows. I think 500 arrows might actually be enough this time. Which, in my previous... In the previous sections, I argued the idea that this creates a situation of repetition. A bullet sponge, if you wish. But I also didn't consider the idea that maybe, as a player, you weren't actually meant to defeat these creatures. These creatures are just presented there as obstacles to be navigated past rather than fought. And that the act of fighting them, like I'm doing, is less something that you are meant to do, and is just more something that you can do, because Demon's Souls and Souls games are just that kind of thing. Like, if I wanted to, I could have continued attacking the Old King, in the previous episode where I acquired the Demon Brand. But I didn't have to. I could have fought the people in the Nexus. And the act of fighting the dragons here, and the blue dragon here, and the red dragon 4, is functionally equivalent in that it is unnecessary. Like, these are just obstacles meant to be jogged past. And the entire satisfaction of defeating the blue dragon and the red dragon is the reward in which you get for clearing the dragon out, the souls, whatever item it drops, and also now the path from here to the false king would then become clear. I won't have to worry about being burned alive. I can just run straight to the elevator and then up to the fog. I still have to deal with the knights. Oh, you son of a... Ah. I pressed the roll button way too late. Oh, no stagger. Okay. It's fine. Maximum stagger. Ow. You know, I didn't bother fighting any of these fat officials before. I always just kind of threw, shot arrows at them at a distance. So I'm just gonna do that right now. And I feel as though the fact that I just arrowed them all to death, considering how much damage, or how many regular hits he took, I don't necessarily feel bad for... Oh my gosh. Get back here. And one more, maybe? I don't necessarily feel bad for picking them off at a distance in the previous section. Not that I would, as I have no morality towards my foes in this game. Now, can I hit him at this distance? Yes, but only for 3 points of damage. Now... No. I'm trying to... Is there a safe spot? And I'm dead. Okay, we're back here again. We're gonna need to do a little bit more observation this time. Than not at all. We need to figure out a safe spot to shoot him and not get burned. Ah, back up. Which means we've got to cross thresholds. Nope. Run away again. Okay. Hold on. Nope, they're not safe. Is this safe? Nope. It's hard to judge his pattern. Is this safe? And can I actually hit him from here? I can shoot his wing. Good enough. All right. I think this is just more evidence that, like, he isn't exactly meant to be killed, just by, not just making it difficult. Like, a Souls game by itself is difficult. But by making it, like, tricky to the point where you have to go for, like, these trick shots, in order to make it work. Although, I suppose here's the question. If you happen to know an easier way to kill the blue dragon, I am curious to know. Am I playing this game on a harder difficulty than it needs to be? That is very possible. But, at the very least, I've got 371 heavy arrows. As long as he doesn't move again, which, I mean, he doesn't really have any other locations to move to. I'll slowly whittle down his Achilles wing and have, at the very least, a clean path to the False King. I wonder what could have been done to make this a more meaningful boss. Like, in the previous section, when I was fighting the Red Dragon, I talked about the idea of maybe installing ballistas on the 3 towers, and only by activating all of the 3 ballistas are you able to defeat the Red Dragon. It still requires you as a player to do something, to explore, to find them, but it doesn't necessarily require you to create a bullet sponge out of them. And I wonder if something in a similar sense can be done here. Like, create some sort of plot device, maybe have, like, a side path that leads to a cannon or something that is defended heavily, which means that there is great risk in taking that side path. But there's also great reward. Because that means that that dragon is no longer there. All right. I'm going to head back to town, to the Nexus, spend these souls, and let's give another go at the False King. And also maybe use these legendary warrior souls. Alright, the way cleared out for the most part. There's still the knights that are going to get in the way. There are still the fat officials, but the fat officials I can just dodge around. The knights are a little bit more problematic, although this time the knight decided he just wanted to run right off the staircase. And not bother me at all, which I'm okay with. Like, I don't have to deal with them on every run. I can just... Although, that's the thing. At the very least, killing them does refill my stock on full moon grass, and some of them have actually been dropped. Let's get rid of this late moon grass. It's, and these lotuses. That way I don't have to worry about cycling as much. I didn't really put much thought into it after the fight, but in my previous attempt at the False King, the old King Aland, is that I did spend a lot of time, son of a, cycling through my items, through healing items that I don't use anymore. Ah. And with any luck, I will not have to worry about losing any more soul levels to him. Because that was unfortunate. Am I far enough away? Yes, I was that time. Oh, he was almost about to try to steal a soul level. Ow. Sir, you walk slow. But that does not seem to mean... Oh, nope. Avoid that. Ow. That. Oh. Yeah, you can do that as much as you want. Nope, wrong weapon. You don't mind a long-range battle, sir? Oh, let's... Let's not be too much on one side or the other. I don't want to get caught in his AoE. I feel that this is actually how I defeated him a long, long time ago. And it still works to a degree. Aha! No AoE for you, only your... Oh my gosh. Heal up real quick. Ah. Nope, don't. Stop dodging towards him. Yeah. It would be a waste if I had to retry now. Oh, AoE, I'm fine with that. Another. And he's done. The game is finished. I have obtained the power of the demon's soul. Well, actually, sorry. I spoke too soon. The game isn't finished yet.
How did you defeat my demonic reflection? How many souls might you have devoured, I wonder? The rest is up to the Old One. If it is to be, then you shall be beckoned.
Are there items for me to pick up? Like his sword and all that? Alright. The man who wielded untold power, calmly watching over the kingdom from on high, was not in fact old King Alant, but a demonic impostor who stood in his place. The true king dwells with the Old One. Wherever that might be. Let us head back to the Nexus. Alright. That was pretty epic. Nice slow motion glass shattering. Let us repair our stuff, even though I still remember what lies in wait. So I don't necessarily need...
I was worried sick.
But you know, just in case I do something stupid.
We are indebted.
Just in case. And actually...
Hark, I hear a voice of yore. The Old One calls for thee. Let us proceed below to its lair.
Oh, no time for leveling up. Only respond to the call of the Old One. There are a lot of things going on with this design. There are rocks, trees, almost kind of like structures on it, as if this creature was a mass of land that was built upon.
Old One, I have granted thy wish. A new demon. Come now, be good.
Never trust don't trust the person who wants you to level up. In Souls games is probably the moral of the story. They always have their own agendas, despite the fact that they don't seem to have agendas. And like they present themselves in a manner that is expected to be trusting because they are the ones you constantly go to as a source of new power. But I suppose if you are to stare at monsters, you might become the monster yourself. We're not going to worry about returning to the Nexus. The Nexus. No T.
Let us proceed below to its lair.
Okay. Yeah, I remember, I think I might have actually only beaten this game once.
Chosen by the Old One. Will you seek the everlasting demon souls? Or has the monumental blinded you? Whatever your choice, you are our first visitor. May you be welcome here.
Like, when I finally beat the Old King, I just had this, really sense of wonder. Like, what the hell was actually next? Because everything seemed to be a greater escalation over what was before.
The pain and suffering that fills this world. But God is merciful, and so created the Old One, a poison to the poison. The Old One will feed upon our souls and put an end to this tragedy.
I don't remember if Demon Souls happens to have multiple endings. But he is a boss. Or at the very least, he has a health bar and is openly hostile. And the Old One has not bothered instructing me what to do otherwise, so I will slash away. Which I think it makes this a very interesting moment, because like this game doesn't end with a particularly difficult boss fight. It ends with story fight. Like, you're left with this kind of maybe almost pity over what King Alent had become. Like, his grand self was just a lie. And you could see that in in later Souls games. The idea that the shiny and beautiful is just a facade over the darkness underneath.
You fool! Don't you understand? No one wishes to go on.
Oh, his sword. The Soul Brand. And now I can create the Northern Regalia. Probably in New Game Plus, I guess.
Thy work is done. Slayer of demons, go back above. Nexus shall imprison thee no longer. I shall lull the old one back to slumber.
And then what? Well, keep up the good work.
The old one and I shall slumber evermore, as it should be. Thou mayst go, be gone to thy well.
All right, have a good nap, forever and all that.
My thanks.
You're welcome.
At last, the end is in sight.
The old one, along with the maiden, was swept back into the lulling fog.
The lulling fog?
From the demons, but also lost its knowledge of the soul arts.
I mean, that's probably for the best, really.
Souls lost during the pandemonium were never retrieved.
It was a bit chaotic.
And today, the unstable world has another monumental to hold its fabric together.
Is that me or the...
New
Oh,
hero of unprecedented power.
I am aware of this video game system. My network is terrible. Haven't you seen the previous Demon Souls videos? All right. And thusly, that was Demon Souls. Specifically, the remake for the PS5. But still, it's the same essence, except now I can play it at 60 frames a second, which is always nice. What they really need, what would be really cool, is if they made a upgraded version of Bloodborne at 60 frames, because that's the game that really needed it and didn't have it. But we're talking Demon Souls right now. I like it. It's still a good time. There are definitely things about it that are very obscure. They were obscure back then. But regardless of that, criticizing it for having obscure things that I don't understand I think is a bit towards unfair criticism, because there are plenty of games which might have sections that I might not fully grasp. An example of this would be to the legend that is the original Demon Souls and its die-hard community. I don't know if I would be a part of its die-hard community, but I did play it back in the day. Like criticizing it for obscure moments. Like one game that I played was Fez, and that was one of my favorite games back in its time as well. I can assure you I will never be unlocking all of the secrets to that. So I wouldn't really put that as like fair criticism over the world tendencies, but I would say that there are way too many different kinds of stones to collect to upgrade your weapons. In memory of Takeshi Kaji. I'll have to look up later who that is. Andrew O'Neill. I'm guessing he worked for Bluepoint. But you had hard stone, sharp stone, spider stone, clear stone, bigger sharp stone, bigger hard stone. Like, one of the best things about Bloodborne is how it just simplifies the process. You have like 3 levels. You've got like bloodstone shards, bloodstone chunks, and bloodstone rocks. And that's it. There might be one more that I forgot. But having all of these different types of materials makes it a little bit trickier, a lot trickier to upgrade weapons, which means that it makes it a lot harder to diversify your approach or to try out different weapons without doing a lot of grinding, per se. That's one of the things that Bloodborne did a lot better, is like you were able to collect a lot of weapons, but you always had lots of bloodstone shards and bloodstone chunks to upgrade your weapons and actually make them more meaningful in comparison. Whereas, like, in Demon's Souls, you've got a lot of weapons, but you don't necessarily get a lot of upgrade materials in the process of playing the game, which means that specific weapons are going to be a lot better only because they've been upgraded more. Or you have to spend more time not upgrading anything until you get a moveset you like, and then go with that. But that means that you're going to be underpowered in comparison to the enemies you fight, which might mean you need to level up more, which means more grinding in that regard. Otherwise, it is interesting to go back to Demon's Souls in comparison to their later games, because of how slow these bosses are. That's something I don't necessarily think about. Like, it's easy to remember how difficult the game is, and there are certain sections of the game that are going to be more difficult than others, such as fighting the Dragon God has its quirks. But, like, I've been watching Outside Extra. Luke and Ellen have been playing through Dark Souls 3. And Bloodborne is noted for being the fast of the Souls game. I have no comment on Sekiro at this moment because I still haven't played it yet. But Dark Souls 3, like, bosses move. They move. They get across the map. And with Demon's Souls, it feels as though there's only a couple bosses that have a really good... Like, the final boss has a very specific dash that gets him from one side of the area to the other, but it's very choreographed. It's very much, like, you can... It's telegraphed. Telegraphed is the word I'm thinking of. It's very much telegraphed. You can see it clear as day. And you can get ready for it. And he generally just has the one quick jump from one point to the other. So, going back to Demon's Souls makes all these bosses feel a little bit slower in comparison to everything that comes afterwards. And I feel as though maybe this game felt a little bit easier in regards to fighting the bosses because I've had the experience, not just in fighting the bosses by themselves, from completing the game once, but because I've had the experience in playing through Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, as well as Bloodborne. It's the stages that are generally trickier. But I suppose even the stages aren't as difficult as memory serves. The Poison Swamp wasn't necessarily as difficult, but then again, I didn't necessarily spend as much time exploring the Poison Swamp as I did in my first playthrough back in the day. I looked at the swamp and I saw the items in the distance, and I considered them unworthy. I should actually probably ask at this moment, what did I miss with my playthrough? I know I missed a few things. I know I didn't actually rescue the wizard from the Prison of Hope. I never actually bothered figuring out where the key was, and I didn't think about not finding it until before I was going up against this false king, this demonic King Alant. but I'm sure there might have been a couple things. The path at the beginning of the first stage of Boletaria that opens up when you have pure white world tendency. It did open up, and then I died against the False King, and then it closed up. So I never actually went there to find out what items were there, because I was saving that for a video, and then I forgot I was saving that, and then it closed off again. But that is a Souls game. A Souls game has its secrets. For now, though, got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.